Track 4, Audio Effects, contains the noise adder device. This effect adds white noise depending on the amplitude of the incoming signal. Before we start with the steps, what's immediately apparent is how different these cables look. Dashed cables, like these, are audio signal cables. The gray cables we've worked with so far are control signal, or event cables. The events coming from the live.dial objects in this patch end up in audio objects, which can be recognized by names that end in a tilde symbol. The noise gain dial sets a value in decibels. We can set the range and unit style of the live.dial object in the inspector. Regarding the inspector, we can also open it as a floating window from the View menu. With a floating inspector window, when we click in an empty space of the patch, we can view and change any settings for this patcher. This is similar to activating the P icon in the attached inspector. As step 2 describes, with this signal we are only dealing with a positive amplitude, so it makes sense to set the range of this scope to 0 to 1. The inspector has 4 tabs, of which we use the All tab to get access to all properties. At the top of the inspector, we can also find out what the name of a selected object is. In this case, it's the live.scope tilde object. While step 3 is telling us to lock the patch and double-click the Get Amplitude subpatcher, we can also temporarily pretend the patch is locked by holding Ctrl or Command and then double-click the subpatcher. If we hold Ctrl or Command while clicking in an empty area in the patch, we can easily unlock and lock the patch. Now that the patch is unlocked, we can select this inlet object and get access to its inspector. The comment property allows us to write a text that describes what kind of data the inlet expects. We can read this text for reference whenever we hover over the inlet in or outside the subpatcher.